Hello and welcome to PoE For Dummies, Harbingers. Harbingers are basically entities sent from Otherworld to discover our own and some form of lore, I guess. But what they do is they give us juicy rewards, which go from very small ones to very big ones, and they drop fragments. So, when you encounter a Harbinger in a map, and when you defeat a Harbinger in a map, you will drop one of the fragments that you can find in your currency stash tab, ranging from transmutation through chaos shards, Harbinger shard, and I think that's Horizon shard, engineer's binding ancient, and fracturing shard, which is the most valuable one. So to start with, I will show you how a Harbinger looks like in a map. So this was a map where I played, I shot, and this little entity thingy is a Harbinger. You cannot kill a Harbinger directly, but it summons monsters in blue circles. When you kill those monsters in blue circles, those spawn monsters, Harbinger loses health until eventually it runs out, and then it pops up some shards on the ground. These shards can be, as I said, varying shards. They can be exalted shards even. And you can get a Harbinger in map via passives, via scarabs, and so on. Now, to explain those, there's regular tier maps, as I've explained them in the map video, but we have Iceberg here 4, Carcass 9, and Lava Chamber 14, because there is one currency that is tied to Harbingers directly, which is called a Harbinger's Orb. Now, what a Harbinger's Orb does is reforges a map item as another of a higher tier, and it doesn't say this, but it is possible to get a Harbinger map where we go into their domain and kill like 20 of them and so, and a big boss, via rolling maps with Harbinger Orb. So you would right click and left click on a map, it will turn it into tier 5, into a higher tier. And here it is. There we go. From tier 5 to tier 5 regular white map to a tier 5 beachhead Harbinger map. Let's see if we're lucky for the other one. We are. By the way, this is rare. And here's 14, 15, 16, and it cannot go higher than 16. But you can roll that as well. Now, to go with that as well, the beachhead maps are basically maps where you go in and you kill a lot of Harbingers. I have one here. Sadly, I have no more video players. This is when you open it, and then when you... Oops, wrong video. When you open it, and when you go in, you are spawned in the beach, where you actually go around, killing Harbingers, looting them, and so on, until you reach the middle of the map. I will just go a little bit back. Until you reach the middle of the map, and there is the door that you can go into an arena. Arena has the huge Harbinger portal, which spawns 6 to 10, I think, small Harbingers one by one. And after you kill them off, you will then get a Harbinger boss, which should have a crown on his head. Yes, okay. So you get a Harbinger boss, which has a crown on its head. It spawns more monsters, they are stronger, and so on. Each of the Harbingers has a mini debuff. Some have temp chain, some have this and that. Usually you won't care, as you will kill these monsters pretty quickly. But when you finish this map, what it does is it drops from every single one of these like little shrines and something. It drops shards. These can be various shards, as you can see here. I think it has 2, 4, 6. Yes, 8. 8 small ones and one big one in the middle. The big one in the middle, as you see here with a special text, that's basically a zing, what we call it, a high value item. It's an infused Harbinger map, which I still have here. I haven't run it, which gives you more rewards, some scrolls and so on. That's for like medium to high and advanced players basically, and it drops even more loot. But compared to a regular map, which is 40 chaos, infused one is 160, 180, 200 up to a divine. That's the difference. Yes, it gives you better rewards, but the downside is it's more expensive. The Harbinger maps are a very good source of experience. If you do them at level appropriate or 6 levels under, you will get a decent chunk of experience and you can level up like that if you want. The small tier, the tier fives are usually cheap. I don't know why people post it for a mirror and so on, but it is what it is. Usually people hunt for tier 15s. Now, to get a Harbinger in a map, you can use scarabs, which is a regular Harbinger, rusted scarab, polished and gilded, which is 2 Harbingers, 3, 4, and I think winged scarab gives you like a Harbinger boss or gives you even more Harbingers, but you can use that. You can use a map device if there is an option to get a Harbinger on your map. Or you can go through Atlas passives. So the last thing that I will explain today are Atlas passives for Harbingers. I run them regularly now because they give you extra experience, they're easy to kill, and you can just enjoy your time with them. So let's start with this circle here. It gives you, Harbingers give you 20 extra % chance to drop a stack of currency shards. So a stack of currency shards is basically a currency item or an additional set of currency shards. You can drop, let's say, 10 chaos shards or something, 4 exalted shards and so on. So that gives you just more shards, or it can go up to a stack if you have a certain passive. This one is your maps contain an additional Harbinger. That's it. Just one extra Harbinger. I recommend picking it up if you're leveling, starting the game, or starting the maps, and so on. Just go straight to that, and go to Stream of Consciousness, and go on your merry way. Then there's this circle here, which gives you additional Harbinger chance. That's 15% chance for one more Harbinger on the map. More chance to drop an additional stack. And Harbingers in your maps have 60% increased cooldown recovery rate. That means they spawn monsters faster, basically. And currency shards dropped by Harbingers can drop as currency items. So if you, instead of dropping 10 Chaos Shards, you can drop a Chaos Orb. 10 Exalted Shards, an Exalted Orb. Up to Fracturing Orb, but I haven't seen that yet. So there's that circle, there's this one, which gives you extra 15% chance to get an additional Harbinger. And then Harbingers in your maps have 25% chance to be replaced by a powerful Harbinger boss. Now, as you've seen in the Harbinger Beachhead video, those are all, by the way, all the circles for Harbingers. There's only 3. If you've seen the original one, it has a crown on its head, and this is how it looks in a map. So when you encounter a Harbinger boss in a map, this is the boss, and it is followed by a few of regular small Harbingers. Now, what you can do is you can, of course, kill them all. They spawn a lot more monsters, and it's experience-wise perfect. And once you defeat all of the smaller ones, the Harbinger boss basically gets defeated as well as a regular Harbinger. It has like this lightning ball, which basically zaps you with lightning. Just dodge out of the way and you will be fine. Other than that, let's see what it drops here. Other than that, there's nothing else special about Harbingers. You can make your own maps. Here you go. You can see the difference between the Harbinger boss and regular Harbinger. It's double or triple the amount of shards that you get. But experience-wise, very good. Great mechanic for beginner players. You can get any of the shards you read here. So if you type shard, any of these shards, and also there's a Horizon shard, any of these shards you can get from Harbinger up to Fracturing Shard. These are half a Divine for 1 or for 2, or Divine for 2, or 110 Chaos for 1, because it gives you a Fracturing Orb that gives you a synthesized item, which is this yellow mod that you cannot change on an item. That's, again, medium to advanced users. But from that, I would just pick them up, enjoy them, have some experience. If you drop a beachhead map, do it. Have fun with it. It doesn't matter if you don't get your money's worth or in chaos, whether you sell it or not sell it. Just enjoy it, play through it, and that's it. And of course, if you're lucky, you can use Harbinger's Orbs to get those beachhead maps. But otherwise, that will be it for this video. If you've enjoyed it, give it a like. Sub if you don't mind to. Thank you for watching, and I will see you again in another PoE for Dummies video.